I think it's safe to say that all of us had to triple check who was playing the hormone monster the first time we tuned into Big Mouth. Surely that had to be the one and only voice of Lego Batman Will Arnett. We all know now it's Nick Kroll gifting us with Maurice's timbre. But was that gravelly voice a jab at BoJack Horseman's leading man? Countering that is a character on Arnett's show mocking Kroll. Are these two dudes duking it out over Amy Poehler via their Netflix animated series? That's one online theory. I'm Kris Carr, and today we're looking into the possible animated feud occurring between Big Mouth and BoJack Horseman's leading men. Before we begin, I want to give credit where credit is due and let everyone know we stumbled upon Fantasy Merchant's theory and decided to dive in and see what we could dig up. Fantasy Merchant believes that Big Mouth's Maurice is a jab at Amy Poehler's ex-husband, Will Arnett. The theory hinges on the two men's relationship with actress Amy Poehler. Will Arnett was married to Poehler for 9 years and has 2 children with the Parks and Recreation star. Arnett now serves as the executive producer on the Netflix animated series that he also stars in, BoJack Horseman. Many have speculated that BoJack draws from some of Will's personal experience as a Hollywood actor, and Fantasy Merchant believes that Arnett and his team could have modeled BoJack's agent, on-again, off-again lover, and arguably the most interesting character, Princess Carolyn, after Poehler. Many a Reddit thread wonders if the character's relationship mirrors Poehler's and Arnett's, despite these real-life exes happily having kids with one another. Now, what's the Big Mouth connection? Well, Nick Kroll started dating Poehler after she and Arnett split. Likewise, after splitting from BoJack, Princess Carolyn started dating Vincent Adultman, a man who's just 3 kids in a trench coat. This is the biggest stretch in the theory, but could Vincent Adultman be a stand-in for the short, younger, and immature Kroll?
What are we doing? Being grown-ups?
Kroll is a notable 7 years younger than Poehler and Arnett, and it's plausible that his BoJack Horseman persona would be exaggerated into a literal child, especially considering Kroll's humor can skew pretty lowbrow at times.
I'm Liz. I got bangs!
Running with this theory, little old Kroll was none too pleased being portrayed as the prepubescent version of Muppet Man, and, in retaliation, impersonates Arnett while playing a sex-crazed monster with a limp dick for a nose.
Wait, hold on. Is that a dig?
The one thing I will say this theory has going for it is that Maurice definitely sounds like Will Arnett. Kroll could make some sweet sound-alike paper if he wanted to.
What's up, my man? You paged me? Who we hired for?
Well,
Rihanna? The Land O'Lakes butter chick?
What's working against this Netflix animation conspiracy? Well, 1, Amy Poehler and Will Arnett seem to have a super amicable relationship. In her book, Yes Please, Poehler has wonderful things to say about her former spouse, and they still hold a lot of love and respect for one another. Sometimes relationships just don't work out. Sure, that doesn't account for how Will Arnett and Nick Kroll feel about one another, but comedians are usually pretty chill people, and it'd be really unattractive, not to mention unhealthy, to be hung up on who your ex is dating, or for someone to obsess and ridicule their partner's ex. This seems even more petty when you consider that Poehler and Kroll were only together for 2 years. Second, the shows have taken very obvious shots at other actors, and reveled in the fact that they were doing so. I mean, Maurice skull-screwed Garrison Keillor. I think if Kroll wanted to say something about Arnett, he'd just say it. Or show it, in a super disturbing way.
What did you think about the Garrison Keillor part? Was that too far?
that part made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, at the time it seemed funny.
Likewise, BoJack constantly takes shots at Hollywood actors, even convincing some of them to play insane versions of themselves for the sake of comedy.
Unbelievable. Un-Jessica-believable.
Can we please not fight?
Adultman would have looked a lot more like Guy Face-On, charmed I'm sure, if Arnett was really trying to land a jab. Finally, when asked point blank in an interview with Pop Buzz if he was, in fact, doing a Will Arnett impression, Nick Kroll vehemently denied it, saying, quote, "No, I'm not doing a Will Arnett voice at all for it. I've seen that, and the other person I've seen is Diedrich Bader, who's another very talented actor. No, the truth is Andrew, Mark, and Jen were talking about how there should be something in Andrew's ear, sort of like a hormone monster. And Mark was like, we should just have a hormone monster. And they then talked to me about it, and then I sort of immediately was like, touch yourself, Andrew. And it was just like that. It sort of came out. The truth is the voice is closer to a character I did on Kroll's show named Nash Ricky, who was kind of like a Bret Michaels 80s hair metal rocker. That was sort of the basis for the voice. I think Will's an unbelievably talented actor and incredible voice actor, but no, it was not inspired by him or his voice. Plus, obviously, Will is the voice of BoJack Horseman, another Netflix show. So the last thing I'd want to do is go, hey, let's do the same voice as the other animated show on Netflix. But I think there is a gravelly quality to it, so I understand that people have made that connection.
Well, the plans have changed.
So, there you have it. Kroll says absolutely not. But would you admit to making fun of someone once called out? I feel like I would. I love when I nail an impression. I'm not too sure about the validity of this feud theory, so I'm going to leave it up to y'all to decide. Go below and let me know if you think there's anything to this conspiracy. Like, subscribe, punch that bell, and click to the left of my face for more videos. If you want to stream us, throw us on Roku or Plex. It's just like Netflix, only without the annoying "are you still watching" thing. And you'll definitely know when Whitney and I are impersonating one another. I don't mean to be bad, but... And then when she has a flub, it's... Pugs!